Well, folks, it's been 5 weeks exactly since the last of these programs, so probably should get to it, especially since two of the items that are going to be going on, there's quite a bit going on. Two of them this weekend, one of which I'll be at. So let's get right to it. The one that I will be at this weekend is the 23rd, Saturday, the 23rd of September, is the New England Championships, which are taking place in Woburn, Massachusetts, at the same location they did last year at the Dave & Buster's. This is a qualifier for the East versus West finals, but why shouldn't it be? Just seems like just about everything in the world is a qualifier these days for the East versus West finals. Maybe they'll get a few more people at the finals this coming year as they got last year. But in any event, they do have, because of that, their classes for pro are a little bit different than standard. Starting at 150, there's a 150 class that will not be a qualifier for the East versus West, but they also have classes of 165, 187, 209, 231, and 231 plus. They have a gazillion other classes as well. Semi-pro has three classes, amateur six, which are more the standard 154, 176, 198, and so forth. Three classes of masters. Grandmasters, not quite certain what they're going to be. It's going to be broken up depending on how many people show up. Two novice classes plus women's classes, youth, kids. In short, they're going to have a gazillion sort of classes. They do indicate that except for the East versus West, if there are fewer than four in a class, they may very well combine the classes. The cost for this is the East versus West is $50, which I guess is set by the East versus West folks. The other is $30. Kids are 15. And as I say, that is this coming Saturday at the 23rd. If you're there, I'll see you. Also going on the 23rd is the Toprollking event taking place in Martinsburg, West Virginia. This is sponsored by Travis Bajent, which is where he's from, and also Paul Italia of Italia Productions. That is taking place on, basically, as I say, in Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's kind of an oddity in that the main event is Saturday evening, not Saturday during the day, although they still do have weigh-ins Friday evening. So if you're the sort of person that wants to really dehydrate yourself and have a little bit more time to rehydrate, this might be the one for you. $40 is the charge there. Interestingly enough, this is a little bit different in a pro. Both left and right are open. And so they have some awards for the top of those, but there are no weight classes in pro. There are in the, this is, by the way, this leads to an invitation to the Arm Wars. It's a right only Arm Wars, and invitation which would provide either airfare or a stipend on the day of the Arm Wars if you are, basically if you go to that. They also do have amateur and masters. Both of those do have weight classes, 165, 198, and 199 plus. As I say, that is also taking place this coming weekend, the 23rd. The week following, got a couple things going on there. The Ohio State Arm Wrestling Championships taking place in Holland, Ohio, which is basically to say Toledo. That is $30 for that, $25 for additional arms. There are some cash awards for that, $150 to the winner of the pro and $100 for the $100 for the women there. There they have the pretty much the standard weight classes among the pro, the usual 154, 176, and so forth. Amateur, four classes, 176, 210, 240, 240 plus. Women is right only, with two classes dividing at 154. Masters, 176, 220, and 221 plus. As I said, they are expecting that to be one of the larger ones in the state of Ohio. And like I say, that is on Saturday, the 30th. If you have the energy and you're in Ohio and you want to go to another one, there's actually a smaller tournament the very next day on the 1st of October on Sunday. That is at Norton, Ohio, which is a suburb of Akron, and that is the 35th annual Cider Festival. Apparently, they have cider festivals all over the place in Ohio. I'm not sure if this is a, due to the legacy of Johnny Appleseed, who went wandering around Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Indiana, and various other states in the area, basically planting apple trees all over the place in the late 1700s, early 1800s. But they do have a ton of cider festivals. As I say, this one is in Norton. This will be 2:00 Sunday afternoon. The right hand is a weight class of 176, 220, and 221 plus. Left hand is open. They have men's, women's, and also high school classes there in Norton, Ohio. And this is listed as being for a charity, namely to help children affected by addiction. And also, as I recall, quite inexpensive. This one is, $20 for the first arm and $10 for additional classes at the Norton Festival on Sunday, the 1st October. On the weekend following, October the 7th and 8th, is the Mr. and Mrs. America contest at the Atlantic City Convention Center. So this is not just arm wrestling, but the arm wrestling is taking place Saturday and Sunday. Saturday will be the pro, the masters, the grandmasters, and the semi-pro. Sunday is amateur, novice, and the teens. $40 for the first arms, 20. Actually, I take that back. $40 for the first two arms. So if you want to pull both arms, you're looking at $80. Additional classes are $20. Teens are $20. And quite frankly, I'm not going to read you classes there because there are a gazillion of them. And but that really is, really running up a large number of classes there. The week after that, the 14th October, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know of anything, but maybe something will pop up. However, there are at least two items on the week following that, the 21st October, one of which I will be at. So, hey, since that's my program, I'm going to list that one first. And that is Armageddon 3, which is a 98 tournament and TJ Foley sponsorship with the Armed and Ready Calvert folks. That is going to take place at O'Ganigan's, which is the Irish-themed bar that was at on Armageddon 1 2 years ago. Last year we were somewhere else, but we're going back to O'Ganigan's for that in Prince Frederick, Maryland. Also quite inexpensive, $20 an arm. Women are $10 an arm. Kids are free, and you can't get much less expensive than that. They're a little bit different though from the first one they had there. The first one was basically open only, where here they do have pro and amateur plus women plus masters. Masters in this case being 40 and up. And also an overall. The rules for this are posted on their event page, quite simple, unlike some tournaments which list the rules, which run on for about 3 pages. This one is quite simple and straightforward. The rules are: you get pinned, you lose. And hey, you can't be much more straightforward than that, but certainly rather clear there. But as I say, they do have the standard weight classes for that one, both pro and amateur, the 154, 176, and so forth, with super starting at 243, plus women's, basically, surprisingly, 3 weight classes there. I take that back, 4 weight classes, which is kind of an oddity for women, 135, 154, 176, and 177 plus. Masters 2 classes dividing at 200, which is fairly standard there. As I say, they're also having an overall, both left and right, splitting with 2 classes there for the overall at 200 and 201 plus. As I say, that is on Saturday the 21st. Also taking place on Saturday the 21st is the Mountain State Showdown, Mountain State being West Virginia. And that is taking place in, I believe, Logan, West Virginia, as I recall. There they do have some cash awards, $125 for the first pro right only. The fee for that, $35 per arm, $5 for kids. They do have a $5 spectator fee for that one as well. What's kind of an oddity about this tournament is the weight classes. First place, they are expressed as in halves, not by full pounds. But the pro classes are 165.5, 195.5, I think it's 195.5, can't read my own writing, 230.5, 260.5, and 290.5. So super actually doesn't start until you are at least 290.6 pounds. Apparently they must grow them big in West Virginia, and I do know some big people from West Virginia, but in any event, So hey, maybe I should show up at that one instead. I'd be out of the supers, for the first time in the last 4 years. But as I say, so 290.6 starting super heavyweight there. Novice, what they're calling novice, they don't have amateur listed specifically. So I suspect that probably what they mean by novice is what most folks would call amateur, because there they have 165, 200, and 201 plus. They also have a Masters 40 plus at the same weights, 165, 200, and 201 plus. Women is right arm only. There is no weight specified for that, so that they might, it's possible they're going to just be doing that based on either open or whoever shows up. The kids classes, they have actually 4 classes of kids, grouped by age, the youngest age group being 4 through 7, and the eldest age group on the kids being 15 through 17, with 2 more between that. There is a possibility of some super matches on that. There are none specified so far, but they do indicate that there may be some super matches at that one. So I say that is also the 21st October. So that's pretty much it for the next month. In addition to this, as you may have seen, these type of programs, we are going to be starting something, or we have actually started something, where we're going to try to come up with a state list of practices for each of the 14 states in the Northeast, the Northeast being defined as everything from Ohio east to Virginia north, all the way up to Maine. And most likely what we'll also be doing in the near future is I will be doing a program similar to this with a describing some of the practices that are taking place. I've been to probably 3/4 of the practice sites between Columbus, Ohio and the Atlantic Ocean at one time or another. So we'll probably be adding that as well. But you will, if you do have a group or club, you'll be hearing from us possibly as to adding you to our spreadsheets, so we can get some more folks to show up your practices. And if you don't, certainly feel free to message me or the 98 page about that, and we will get in touch with you. So that's basically it for the next month. Hope to see you at a couple of those, and happy pulling.